Hi, welcome to class. My name is Don LaFont, Professor Don, and welcome to CET1131C Hardware. This course, the purpose of this course is to prepare you for the A+ certification, plus prepare you for all of the other classes that you're going to take in your program. In this video, I'm going to review the syllabus. If you're with me live, please hold your questions to the end of the presentation, and I will give you an opportunity to ask questions. If you're watching this presentation on YouTube, then please ask questions down below in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer it. Although I'm not sure why you're watching this if you're not actually in my class. So please just ask your questions inside of Canvas, and and I'll make sure I answer all those questions. For those of you on the web, go ahead and watch if you want. I'm going to cover the syllabus for this class. Maybe you're thinking about taking it in the future. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and this is our syllabus. Let me go ahead and close the syllabus, and I can show you where to find it inside of our classroom. You can find it under a couple different places. Here on the left-hand side, you can find it under syllabus, and you can also find it by going home, and then it's the very first link under week 1, the syllabus. And go ahead and open that up and save it to your computer so you have a copy of it so you can refer to it at any time. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger so that it's easier to see. And here is my contact information. So if you need to call me, you can absolutely call me. I have no problem with students calling me anytime between 9 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night. I am a real estate agent also, and I have clients that call me all day and night as well, buyers and sellers, always reaching out for one reason or another. And I feel I give that to you as a student as well. By all means, you can reach out anytime you want. Obviously, I just realized I am not going to post this on YouTube because guess what? I don't want the world to know my phone number. But anyways, you can text me as well. When you text me, you can call or text, and I really only want you to call or text if you have a personal issue. If something's going on in the classroom, there's something missing that you were expecting. I don't want you to ask technical problems via I'm opening up the chat room for my students to ask questions as I go through the syllabus. You can type a question in here, but don't actually bring up a question. Or if I ask you a question, you can answer inside of the chat room. But anyway, so this is my phone number. I share it with you because I once had a student that said it was really hard to get a hold of me. I don't know why they said that, but they said it was really hard to get a hold of me. You have my phone number. When they ask you in the evaluation at the end, how hard is it to get a hold of your teacher, you have my phone number, okay? It's pretty easy to get a hold of me. You can text, call, you can send me a message inside the classroom. I don't want you to send me email. I say that down below. Don't use my FSCJ email. I give it to you. My FSCJ email is listed right here, but I don't want you to use that because I don't check my FSCJ email on a regular basis. I go to our Canvas classroom every Monday through Friday in the morning or at night. So it might take 24 hours to answer you depending on when you ask a question, or a little bit less. Morning or night, once a day, I make sure I go through all of our classes, even the ones I'm not teaching today. I grade your work usually the day after our presentation. So it's due today, and I'll cover that later, but your work is due today at 6 o'clock, next week at 6 o'clock. The work that's due this week is due next week at 6 o'clock, the beginning of our classroom period, next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. That's when your work is due. But I don't normally grade it because sometimes we're together for a couple, 3-4 hours, and never 4 hours, but I feel like I have, I don't really want to grade your work after I'm done. I'm usually, want to go do something else, like eat, for example. I rarely eat before a class, so I usually want to go eat, and then I don't want to grade your work afterwards. So most of the time I'll grade your work on Wednesday. I'm sorry, today's Wednesday, on Thursday, but not always, depending on what's going on in my life. We'll talk about that in a few minutes when we talk about the late policy, okay? So here is my YouTube channel. Now, all of these presentations, with the exception of this one, because I just put my phone number in it, all of these presentations are located inside of YouTube, and I'm gonna show that to you right now. Inside of YouTube, I will put a link to all of my recorded presentations. Now, if you go now it's not there. Hang on a second. Let me copy this. I don't know why I didn't copy. You can go along with me if you want, but this is my YouTube channel. Now, right now, you'll see when you go to my YouTube channel under playlists, you're really only going to see stuff dealing with networking. I've just recently started to learn about Python. I'm taking a Python class, but this is my Cisco 1 playlist, all 17 videos, and this is my Cisco 2 playlist. I will create a new playlist that's called A+ hardware and then A+ software. And you'll be obviously looking at the videos in A+ hardware. I want you, while you're here, to go ahead and I want you to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to do it today if you're not prepared to, but I want you to subscribe to my channel because it makes it easy to find. Like, I love Network Chuck, and because I'm subscribed to his channel, it's really easy for me to find his videos. He's fantastic at teaching networking, and I'm going through his Python videos. He's got security videos. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's really, really good at it. But I'm subscribed to him and a bunch of other people that I think are awesome teachers. Anyway, so subscribe at some point. I actually give you 1 point on your overall average for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I want you to subscribe to make it easy for you to find me and to prove that you've actually found me, because that's where all the videos are. And so I actually give you 1 point on your overall average for following me. It helps me too. The more people that have subscribed, the more people are able to find my videos. So there's a little bit of selfishness in there. But this is my channel. It's the nature of technology. And that's because technology is really weird, and you guys are just, maybe some of you are just starting out, but those of you that have been around technology for a long time, you know technology is really weird. Now, Einstein once said, if you, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing repetitively and expect a different outcome. But you guys know that when it comes to computers, you do the same thing 3 times and it doesn't work. Try it again. The 4th time, maybe it will work. I'm not sure exactly why, but it is the nature of technology that when you need something to work, it doesn't. Like Monday night's class, right in the middle of my recorded presentation, my computer shut down with a CPU overheating uh, error, and that's not true. I can see the temperature of my CPU, and it was not overheating. But it might have been that's right. We figured it out during Monday's class that it was my M2 that was overheating. My M2 is a hard drive. We'll learn about them later, and it's not really a hard drive, but it's storage. We'll learn about that later if you don't know what an M2 drive is. Don't worry, but we figured out that's what the problem really was. Anyways, so it's the nature of technology that when you need something to work, it won't. And when you don't need it to work, it'll work perfectly fine. That's just the nature of technology. So anyways, I want you to go ahead and, like I said, subscribe to my channel to make it easy to find videos. And then I'm going to load all of the videos here under a playlist for hardware as we go through. So don't go getting ahead of me 3 chapters and then be upset I don't have a video. I haven't gotten there yet. So you need to take your time. We will get there, okay? So let me go ahead and close that window. Back to our syllabus again. This is the WebEx link that we're going to use every single class. It's the same classroom that I use for all of my classes. So if you want to learn about Cisco, pop in on a Tuesday or Thursday, and I'm going to be teaching Cisco, right? I don't control who comes into the classroom, as all of you know at this point. So if you come in the wrong day, by the way, my Monday, no, that's not true with you guys. So you got to come on Wednesdays. But the good news about my YouTube channel, let me jump down to attendance. The good news about, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really want to do this. I didn't realize it was this far bound. Attendance. Huh. All right, there's a better way to get there. All right. So attendance in this class not only has to do with you showing up for the presentations. Showing up for the presentations is worth 10% of your grade. Now there's, I don't know, 15 times, there's 12 times we meet. It's worth 10%. Each one is worth, I don't know, 9%. It's a weighted average. Altogether, it's worth 10% of your grade. So if you don't watch any of my videos and you don't show up to class, you can still pass the class with a 90 if you get absolute 100 on everything else. Otherwise, you can't get an A. But attendance you can do in two ways. The first way is show up on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Now remember, and stay with me during the presentation. During the presentation, close to the end, I will tell you what the secret is that you need to type in a text in the attendance assignment to get credit for it. You basically, it's something weird that we talked about during the class. Okay, so on Monday, for example, the fact that my computer rebooted twice was what students had to write. The chance, it's never anything dealing with the actual content, because you might guess that you talked about hardware. Yeah, you talked about hard drives. Hello. It's going to be something like today we talked about crypto and the crash of 2022, which is going on right now. Bitcoin is down to actually dropped below 2,800 there, and I tried uploading some money to buy some at 28,000. Dropped to 28,000, and unfortunately, my bank didn't agree, and I couldn't actually buy any at that point. So I'm hoping to buy some in a little bit. So it won't be that, because that's too close to the class, the beginning of the class. It'll be later on. I'll tell you what to write for attendance, okay? The other way to get attendance is to go to my YouTube channel. And when you go to my YouTube channel, I want you to take a picture of the video. Take a picture of the video, and I want you to give it a thumbs up. Again, that helps me. A little selfishness there, but it also, you can thumbs down it and get credit for it too. But it says, yes, I watched the video. That's what the thumbs up is. Yes, I watched the video. So let's say it was this video. You're just going to watch the video. It'll be the exact same presentation I give on Wednesday nights. You're going to give me a thumbs up, and then you're going to take your snipping tool, whatever Apple people use. You do it that way. I don't care. You're going to use your snipping tool. You're going to take a picture. Any part of the video, just make sure you include me, the thumbs up. The Nature Technology is fantastic. This is perfect. Save this as week 1 attendance, and then this is what you're going to give me. This is how you're going to earn attendance. Either this way or by showing up and just typing what we talked about. If you show up, right, and then about halfway through the class you realize, oh my God, I have to go. I'm tired, too tired. You fall asleep. I'm going too long, and you have to leave, and you have to go to pick up your kids at a dance recital, whatever it is. Not feeling well, and you can't stay from the beginning till the end. Then you can still get. When I give you the secret word, you won't be here, so you won't know what it is. then you need to go watch the video, pick it up wherever it was that you left my presentation, and then put a check in the box and then submit that. You don't have to explain why you left. You'll be just grouped in with all the people that didn't show up for the presentation, okay? Now, you might say, well, Don, how are you going to prove that I watched the whole video? I can't, but that video is how you are going to learn the content. Now, some people in this class, you're going to read the book and you're going to feel like you don't need to watch my presentation of the content. But I want you to be here. I want you to be in class. I think learning happens in person. So if you really refuse to show up to class, but you're going to do all the rest of the work, great. You'll get a B in the class. You'll be fine. But why not show up, listen to me talk for an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and get credit for that, right? It's an easy 10%. And if you don't come to class but you want to come to class, but something's going on, there's a concert that night, there's it's a beautiful night at the beach and you don't want to head home early, and whatever it is, you can still watch my video and get credit for it, okay? That is attendance, okay? We don't have to cover that again later. Now, I already told you about reaching out to me. Now, I don't want you to ask technical questions via the phone. I don't want you to call me and ask me a technical question. Instead, what I want you to do is inside of our classroom, I want you to ask technical questions inside of our help discussion forums. Now, the help discussion forums are here on the left-hand side. They're discussion forums, and it says help forum 1, help forum 2, help forum 3. Now, the reason why I want you to ask your questions inside of the help discussion forum is I've already told you that I took this class 4 years ago. It's changed over the 4 years, and I am not going through the entire course with you step by step. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing all these assignments along with you. I've already taken this class. I already know this content. I don't need to go through it again. But you need to go through it. And all of your fellow students need to go through it to learn what I learned 4 years ago, with maybe a few minor changes. So when you have a technical problem on any of the assignments in our class, I want you to come to the help discussion forum. I want you to click reply, and I want you to type what the problem is. You have a problem with, I don't know, lab 1, step 5, and I want you to tell me or tell your fellow students where you're running. Maybe you can't find the lab. Maybe it's not opening. Maybe you're getting an error message when you're in NetLab. Tell me what the NetLab error message is, right? Whatever the problem is you're having technically, this is where you need to add. This is where you need to ask your questions. If you call me and you say, man, I'm really struggling with lab 5, step 4, I'm going to say, ask in the help discussion forum. Because if I'm driving down the street, first of all, I'm not going to know what you're talking about. If I'm sitting in front of a computer, I'm not going, in order for me to know what happened at step 5 of lab 1, I would have to do step 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to step 5 to find out if I get the same error message, right? So by you putting in the help form what the problem is that you're having, then other students go, oh yeah, that happened to me too, or you'll say, oh, I had that problem and this is how I solved the problem. Okay. Now there's something in this for you, right? Now, having a problem, asking a question in the help discussion forum, first of all, that's going to help you. But by helping others, you're going to help learn more yourself. Teaching a course is the best way to learn a course. It absolutely is. And by helping others, you're helping yourself learn. But in addition to that, at the end of the semester, I learn who those students are, right? Of the 11 of you that are here right now, I'll learn who my helpful students are, the helpful students. And those are the ones that laugh at my jokes. Those are the ones that open their webcams at the beginning of the class. Those are the ones that answer questions like Anthony and William did in the chat room. Those are the students that I learn. I want to learn who you are, right? But I don't ask a whole lot of questions where I say, Irma, what is the, Ermina, Adriana, I don't call you out like my wife does in her English class. I don't do that. So I don't really learn your names, but I want to know, I do learn the names of the students that really work hard in the class. They get good grades and they work hard to help other people. I love that. Those are the students that at the end of the semester, if you have an 88.2 average or an 87.5 average, but I think you deserve an A because of all the hard work you did, and I look at your grades, and I do this every single semester, I look at your grades, I said, oh my God, William didn't take the final. I'll pick up the phone and I'll actually call you. That's later. I'll show you. I want your phone number. You have to give it to me. I want you to give it to me. I'll call you. I say, hey, William, did you know you didn't take the final? And he'll like, oh my God, I didn't take it. I forgot. And then they go take the final and they get an A in my class. Now, if you don't turn on your camera, if I don't learn who you are, all right, you don't have to laugh at my jokes, but it's nice if you do. If you don't laugh at my jokes, if you don't answer questions in the chat room, if you don't help in the help discussion forum, then I don't learn who you are. So at the end of the semester, I don't even recognize you. It's like, like maybe you've got an 87, but you haven't been active, right? Then you get an 87, you get a B. Some people get a B. That's what you get. You get a B. Now, I love everybody getting an A, but some students get a B because they don't do all the work or they don't do it on time. Some people get a C because that's what they enter college hoping to get a C, graduate and go get a job at McDonald's. I don't know. Whatever the goal is for those students that only get a C. Mom makes me do this, so I'm only going to get a C, right? First of all, that shouldn't be you. You should get an A. You should work to get an A. But if that's you, that's your right as a student to get a C in this class by not doing the work or not doing it on time. And I respect that absolutely. And I'll help you too. If the end of the semester you have a 67, but you've been super helpful all semester long, but you just struggled with the exams, or you struggled with the contents or something, but you get a 67. I'll help you out, right? I'll contact you and I'll say, hey, you're missing something. Or if you've done everything in this course, but you only have a 67, and then I'll push you up to a C because I know you worked. You helped out. You interacted with other students. You did your best. I know you did your best. I'm not going to give you a D if I know who you are, right? Do you all understand what I'm saying? You can just type yes in the chat room so I know you're even still there. That would be helpful. That's why that thumbs up is great too, Allison. Good job. So that's why I want you to ask your questions in the help discussion forum, because there's 13 of you going through the same assignments at the same time, having the same problems. You are going to help each other, I promise you, and I will learn where the sticking points are for these classes as I see and monitor what you have. I also have access to other teachers that have taught this course, and I'll reach out to them. I'll say, hey, everybody got stuck on Lab 1, Part 2. What's the secret with that? And then they'll let me know, and then I'll know, and then I'll let you know what it is, right? Teachers that have taught this a lot will obviously know those issues. Anyways, so that is the help discussion forums. I'm going to close out of that, and I'm going to go back to the syllabus. Anything that I missed talking about the help discussion forum, how long it takes me to reach, asking questions. That's this part here about if your question is technical in nature. Okay, I want you to ask inside of the help discussion forum. Okay, for the module that we're currently working on. Campus information, this is a live online class, which means it is offered by FSCJ Online. If you have issues with getting into your FSCJ, you can't get to Canvas, reach out to Canvas, ask them, call the help desk. If you call me and say I can't get into FSCJ, I'm going to say I heard I don't know, and if I'm in front of a computer, I can check myself. But if you contact this phone number, Student Computing Resources, if you put this in your phone and you either one of these and you say, hey, I can't get into Canvas, they'll let you know, right? Or if there's a problem with Canvas itself. The course description, we're going to learn all about hardware. I love this class. I love this class because I am a hardware guy. I love hardware. I love this class way more than I love Cisco, because Cisco's routers and switches, and none of routers and switches have RGB anything, right? But I'm all about RGB. I'm going to show you I'm going to take you with me, and I'm going to show you my computer right now. This is my computer right here, right? This is a Thermaltake tower. It's actually on wheels because it probably weighs about 100 pounds. It's all water cooled. It's all RGB. It's got two, they're not mining right now, but I've got two RTX 3090 video cards on it. And I just haven't water cooled them yet, but I love hardware. You can see this this water cooler over here. This is for the CPUs. I haven't done this water cooling loop, but this is all hard cable, except this one's soft. I still have to do that one. But anyways, I love hardware. So I'm all about hardware. I have been working with hardware since I built my own computers back in the 90s. I love hardware. I love learning about hard drives and STDs and M2 drives and RAM, and now we're what the newest RAM standards are and speeds. I love all of that stuff. So this is a class that I love. Hopefully you guys have the same kind of passion that I have for it, because I talk a lot about the stuff we're going through with my own experiences. And remember back when I said I love students to share, I love, interact. I love you to tell me about what's going on, right? I want you to tell me cool stuff. Like, for example, I learned about helium mining from a student last semester. Cost me $1,000 because I had to buy 2 helium miners that still haven't come yet in the mail. But a student was talking about it in class. I never even heard of helium mining before a student was talking about it, and then I went and bought 2 helium miners. So anyways, we're going to cover a lot of basic computer stuff, but what's going to make this class interesting is when you guys share the fun new stuff. Okay, this book was written 3 years ago. This is the last semester we're using it, and then we get a new book. Just because it's a new book doesn't mean it's talking about the new stuff. The new stuff is what you're actually interacting with out there in the world. So I love to hear from you when I ask questions. I love to hear responses, whether we're talking about building your own computer, or we're talking about installing a hard drive, or upgrading your RAM, or what kind of peripherals are the coolest peripherals that are out, the headsets. I'm into, I have a Quest 2. Recently I've been playing, not since I started building this computer. I don't have time. But I've been playing my Quest 2. I've been playing zombie games where you're in a virtual world and you're shooting zombies. So fun. I love learning about new stuff. So hopefully you do too, because you'll have a lot of fun in this class with me. Now, the course itself is a 15-week semester, so we're together. It's not a heavy workload each week. You got about 2 hours to review the content and maybe do some work. Now, some of you that are really new to computers, some of you might find that you're spending 3 or 4 or 5 hours on this stuff. And that's because you're learning from the basics, right? If you've been a nurse, they're on a nurse for the last 10 years, and you just finally got tired of, the pandemic burnt you out, and you decided, I'm not going to be a nurse anymore, but I like the technology around nursing. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get a new degree in technology. Well, welcome to the technology world, and we're happy to have you. maybe you can, down the road, you can combine both. You can work on the technology in the nursing program, right? And you'll making 100 grand before you know it. We have 15 weeks. It's not a heavy workload, but there is work due every single week. Sometimes it's going to take you 2 hours. Sometimes it's going to take you 5 hours, but it's not heavy compared to my Cisco 2 work, which takes those students 3 to 5 hours every single week to do the labs, maybe even longer. There's no prereqs or coreqs. So, I've had students before in class that didn't know how to use a mouse. If you don't know how to use a mouse, you're really in the wrong class. I don't start from this is a mouse, okay? I start with basic stuff, but not with this is a mouse and this is how you click. If that's you, you really need to take a course named CTS1131C. It's a basic computer concepts, and it teaches you the very bottom, right? You can still be that nurse in this field. I'm sure nurses, I'm not insulting nurses, I'm sure they know how to use a mouse. But if you're in any field and you don't know how to use a mouse, then you need to drop out of this class and go start with the 1060 class, even if it's not in your degree. I say that because I tutor a woman now. I've been tutoring for 5 years. Now she knows how to use a mouse. But when she was in my CTS1100 class back in the day before I taught Cisco, when she was in that class, she really didn't know how to click on a mouse. When I said click on file in Word, she didn't know what that meant, right? She didn't know how, and then even when I showed her, she didn't know how to click. She didn't know how to double click. So there are people that literally have never used a computer, and that's okay. If that's you, that's okay. You just don't belong in this class. You belong in the class called CTS1130, and you can reach out to me. We can talk about this if you are that person, and I'll help you find that class. All right, three credit hours. We start this week. We end on August 23rd. That is the last week that we're going to have work due. I do have work due on the 23rd. There's 2 holidays, but they're both on Mondays. They do not affect this course. We still meet on the Wednesdays of that week. If you're in my software class, you'll note that I made those 2 weeks no class for the whole week in software. But this week, since it doesn't meet, we don't meet on Monday, we do have work due that week. We got 3 other weeks where we don't meet, but the work is there's still an exam to take during those weeks. I'll show you that in a little bit. If you decide this is not the right class for you, you've got to make your decision quickly, because you need to drop the course before May 16th, and then you don't have to pay for the class, right? Review the book, get the book, whatever you need to do to get up to speed, to review, to make sure you're comfortable with this class. You got to do it before May 16th. If you do it on May 17th, well, you just lost whatever, $600, whatever the class cost. Well, none of you, this isn't the 2 students that aren't here right now, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, the 2 students that aren't here right now, if I don't hear from them by the 28th, I just drop them from the class, and it's like they were never here. If you're in the class, but for some reason you decide the beach is more fun than coming to school, and you fall way behind in the class, I'll talk about catching up later in my late policy, but make sure you drop the class before the 14th. If you're literally still on module 2 in July because you've been too busy having fun during the summer, drop the class, take it again. A W is always better than an F. And you might be like, no, it's not. If I get an F, I'll just take it again, and then it will replace the F. Well, that's not really true. The F is always on your transcript. The ABC, whatever, is just next to it in the grade book. Also, let's say you decide not to ever be a hardware tech. Never take this class again for one reason or another. That F is there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, at least at FSCJ. So I encourage you to W. Now, the people that shouldn't drop, I guess, are the people that are military or any other system where they expect you to pay back the course. you're better off getting an F if you're military, because then you don't have to pay it back. But it's still on your transcript forever. If you withdraw from the class and you're military, then they make you pay back that class. So that's everything about important dates. Instructor manuals. This is the book. This is the book. It's actually a bundle, and the bundle is offered by, this is the ISBN, and it's, I don't know, 240 bucks, something like that. It's a lot of money. So I asked the students, if they find out that there is an ebook option for this course, that's that includes uCertify, then absolutely post that in the help discussion forum, and I'll share it with everybody, or text me, or put it in the chat room now if you actually have navigated to that website already, and I'll share it right now. So this is the book. It's required. Okay, the Pearson e-text does not have uCertify connected to it, and you have to have uCertify. There may be a way to buy uCertify separately. I'll check on that. Somebody just has to send me a message inside of our classroom using the messaging tool, and I'll reach out to some other teachers that have taught this course. We use both NetLab and uCertify, so you need to have, this is free. This is not free. That is connected to the bundle. You have to have a computer at home, obviously, or you have to have the ability to get to a college campus to use the school's campuses, the school's computers. I also recommend that you have a backup. So if your laptop crashes, you have a backup someplace, your mother's computer, your kid's computer, your friend's computer, or a drive to a campus. All of the campuses have computers in the library or Learning Commons that you can use to take this class. Bring headsets with you because they don't have speakers. The learning communities, I already talked about the module help discussions. I showed that to you. There's also a questions for your professor discussion forum. That one is for things like, hey, is there what is a lay policy, or did you find the out if there's an ebook option for this course instead of a hardcover option? Because you can buy this book for 50 bucks used online, and it's the last time we're going to use this book, so you can't even sell it back. I mean, you can, but it's not. They're coming out with a new book next semester, so if there's an ebook, it would be a better option for you guys. But that's the kind of thing you ask in the questions for the professor. The assigned work, every single week there's something due, and it's all inside of Canvas. All the directions. It's also inside of our syllabus telling you what's due. So please don't say, oh, I didn't know. We do have written assignments, but I don't think there's any writing per se, but I don't know that for sure. Just know that if you copy anything from the internet, anything word for word, I do expect you to give me a link to wherever you found your answers to. So I'm not an APA MLA guru. Yes, I used APA on my doctorate program when I was working on it, but that was a few years ago, and I'm not really up to speed. But my wife, the English teacher, tells me that I should always have my students use APA MLA when they're submitting anything. So anything you copy word for word from the internet, you need to give me a reference for where you found that information. Graded discussions. There's a couple graded discussions. One of them I'll show you today. That's due this week. There's 19 assignments with 250 points. Those assignments are broke out between labs that are inside of our textbook, labs that are in NetAcad. I'll give you, I think I've already given you your NetLab. If I haven't, I'll give you your NetLab access today before you leave me. Personal fire, let's see, make sure your computer's up to speed. These are the NetLabs that we're going to use. Lab 3. So you do not need NetLab today, so I won't do that during the class. I'll do that after the class, and I'll just post it as an announcement. It's 190 bucks if you get it directly. Somebody put that thank you, William. I appreciate that. The book Youth Certified bundle is $190 if you get it directly from the website, the Pearson website. William, put a link to that to that spot if you still have it open in our chat room. I appreciate that. Labs, let's see. Oh, by the way, that would give you an ebook and you certify for 190. That saves you, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks from the cost of buying it from the bookstore. That might be a good option for some of you. Let's see, some of you certify labs 2 through 5 and 7 through 8 in modules. We don't do module 2 this week, so I'll make sure you are all set where you certify before we get to that point. And it lists what those are. There's a couple team assignments, and those are not the first week, so I'll make sure you're up to speed by the time we get there. There are 8 quizzes. There is not a quiz during the first week, so I'll make sure those are all set up appropriately before you get to the quizzes. There are skill tests. These skill tests are based on the readings and the discussion and the lab. So make sure you do all of that before you do the skills test. I give you a whole week that we do nothing else but skills test 1, a whole week where you do nothing else but skills test 2, and not a whole week where you do nothing else but skills test 3. So if you've fallen behind in the course, that is a little bit of time for you to catch up. And it's also an opportunity for you to make the right time for you, maybe practice ahead of time so you can do well on those skills tests, okay? Let's see. Look, there's we got some. All right, good. So one of the students, Irma, great job. Thank you for sharing that. Only paid 125 bucks for the package as an ebook because they used the $35. Now there is a chance, guys, that when you sign up with the Youth Certify package, I may have to contact Youth Certify to get you into my class because of the way they do. It seems to me that was true 4 years ago when I taught this course the last time. So there's a good chance I'm going to have to make the connection from what you paid for to the class, but we'll figure all that out before the first time you have to teach this class, all right? 3, 6, 9, 10, I lost a student. All right, if somebody notices somebody still trying to get into the class, please let me know. Okay, let's see, there is a smarter proctored exam around mid-semester, and you do have to take that proctored, which means it's going to be recorded and webcam, blah, 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 all that. I will make sure you're all set up for that before you get to that point, but that stops you from having your aunt take this entire course for you. First of all, you're going to have to pay her or your husband or whatever. You're going to have to pay them good bucks to do all this work for you, but that makes sure that it's really you taking the exam, skills test 2. There's also a written exam that's not written like essay, like an English class. It's written as in multiple choice. The written exam is a multiple choice exam, and you take that during the last week. These are hang on just a second, pause, resume. All right, great. I had to let my dogs out. Anyway, so you'll meet my dogs before the end of the semester. I promise to put them on camera. But right now they were, I have to check my phone occasionally because somebody drops out. I might have to let them back into the class. So I ask you to call me, but text is an option. So here we go. Let's see. So this is the way the grade. Now this is going to change a little bit because as you notice, there's no attendance in here. So I have to steal 10% of your grade or 100 points from something in this course. I'll probably steal it from the final exam if I can figure it out. But I have to look and see where I can borrow points from for attendance. So there is at least one more modification of your syllabus because I have to make these points work with how I have laid out the course. standard A through F schedule. I already talked about that with you. An I grade. So if you something happens and you're a good student near the end of the semester and you can't finish the semester, I'll let you finish afterwards. But in order to get an IA in this class, you have to have completed a majority of the work. And the highest grade you can get in this class is a C. So if you're at the point where you've completed 75% of the course, extending a month after the course is over is only going to get you a C. I might as well just give you a C at that point if you've earned a 75 at that point. So an I doesn't really come into play, but I'm willing to work with you. If you get COVID 3 weeks before the end of the semester and you're just not able to finish the exams at the end, I'll give you more time to do it. But you're only going to get a C in the course, so it's your best interest to actually finish the course on time. Academic dishonesty. I promise you, every single thing you do in this course is out on the internet. This course has been the same pretty much for 3 years. So all of the answer keys are all out on the internet. All the multiple choice questions are all on Coursera or Quizlet. All of the projects are probably there as well. I tell all my students that if you go out to the internet and you find the answers for the question, you'll ace my course. You will. You get an A in the class. But what are you going to learn, right? If that's all you're after, if you're just going to get an A in the class and then go work and get an AS and then go work for McDonald's, that's fine. That's perfectly fine by me. Before I joined the Navy, I worked for McDonald's and I liked the place. I enjoyed working for McDonald's. I also worked for Burger King. That's a different story. I do prefer Burger King food. But anyways, I get sidetracked. Anyways, I don't even eat that anymore. But my point is, if your goal is to get an AS and not learn anything but get through the course, then do whatever you need to pass your courses, right? You're going to suffer later when the courses start getting hard because they're going to expect you to actually learn this stuff, right? If all you're doing is going to Coursera or Quizlet, you're not actually learning anything. Even though it seems like it is, you feel like you are because you read the question and then you read B and then you see the answer. Your brain didn't have to think. So your brain isn't going to remember what the answer to that question is. It isn't. So I've been a student for a very long time. I've taken 20 years worth of courses. I have over 100 not AS, but AA classes, right? The 100 and 200 level classes. I have lots of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 700 level classes too when I worked on my doctorate. But I had courses where I didn't really care much about the course. I took a American history class, and I didn't really care much about the course, and I got an A in the course, and I compared all my answers on Quizlet, but I can tell you right now, I didn't actually learn. I didn't study for that course. I didn't learn anything in that course. And to this day, I don't remember anything from that course. If that's all you're doing, just going through and finding the answers on the internet, I'm not talking about looking up the concepts. I'm not talking about watching YouTube videos to have somebody explain to you how to add a hard drive to a computer. That's perfectly fine. What I'm talking about is Quizlet, and when you go to Quizlet and you Google the question and it gives you the answer, that is not helping you to learn the material. It's helping you get an A, but it's not helping you to learn the material. And if you didn't know the answer, you're not going to know the answer after the question. All of my courses are open book tests, every single one of them. They're open book, open internet, open everything tests, except for the proctored one. And if you don't learn the material, then you are going to suffer. I don't need to show you Quizlet, but everything is out here for Quizlet. I promise you. And that's not going to help you. Quizlet.com. And then here's a question that looked like I answered, right? Just takes you right here. Consumer behavior. I took a marketing class, and I really couldn't figure out this one question, and so I Googled it. Sure enough, I found the answer. It's on this page someplace, right? So I I told you I'm a student, and I know all about Quizlet, and I know that if you use Quizlet to ask all of the questions of all of the tests that you've ever take in college, you are not going to learn anything. All right. Also, make sure anything that you copy word for word, you give credit to where credit is due, and don't plagiarize somebody else's work. It's okay to work together on stuff, but it's not okay to submit the same work, right? Do your own work. I've already talked to you about attendance and the two different ways that you can earn attendance. The next thing is late work. All right. So as I told you, I am a student. I've been a student for a very long time. And as a student, I know what it's like to get to fall behind inside of a college class for a number of different reasons. I know what that's like. So I am very understanding when you fall behind. If you submit work after the due date, I will accept it with a 10% late penalty per week that an assignment is late. Now, that's actually 10% for that I only apply that 10% if I have actually graded your fellow students' work. So if you submit the work, a lab, let's say you submit it after class on Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. When I go to grade it on Friday or Saturday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, I'm going to give you full credit because I already told you I'm never going to grade your work after class, right? So that's not a problem. But if I grade your work tomorrow morning because I'm bored and I had some time, then I am going to, if I grade everybody else's work and then you submit the work on Saturday, then it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. It's going to be a submission of 1. And when I click on it, I'll see that it's late and I'll take off that 10%. If it's 2 weeks, it's 20%. 3 weeks, it's 30%. I actually never take off more than 30% as a penalty. So if you submit, I've had students in Cisco do the entire course. They take a week off in, I don't know, week 12 to catch up because they haven't done anything. They take a week off of work and they physically do all of the work. And I prove that they do it. I have my ways to prove that they did the work. They did the learning. I just had a student do it last semester. He actually aced the final. He submitted everything in the last 3 weeks of the course, and he got a C in the class. He got a C because most of it was 30% off. Now, I don't recommend that, but if you fall behind, I'd rather have you pass the course with the C than be the jerk teacher that doesn't accept late work, right? Or I once had a teacher, and that teacher had a policy that if it wasn't due, if it wasn't submitted by 11:59 on Sunday night, she didn't accept it. Well, first of all, she's lazy because at 11:59, where that comes from, it's the default in Canvas. If the teacher doesn't set a due date like I do, being 6 o'clock before class every Wednesday for you guys, if they don't set that, the default is 11:59 on Sunday. So first of all, she's lazy. And then secondly, when I submitted this web page, I was just putting finishing touches on the website, and I gave it to her at 10 minutes past midnight. She's not up at 10 minutes past midnight, right? But she still gave me a 0 on that assignment. I was so mad. I went to this is a fellow teacher at that college I taught at, St. John's River. There was a fellow teacher, and she said, "That's my policy. You got to treat you like everybody else." I said, "You're not grading it at 10 past 11. Why do you care?" And 10 past 12. And she said, "Because when these students get out to a job," well, she didn't sound like that. She said, "When these students get out to a job, if they turn in something late, they're going to get fired." And I said, "They're not going to get fired. I mean, if you're in the Navy and you miss a ship, getting underway, you're in trouble. If you're a stewardess and you miss a plane getting underway, you're in trouble. If you're a doctor and you're not, and you show up, 5 minutes after the patient dies, you're in trouble, right? But in most jobs, if you submit something a few minutes late or an hour late, a day late, whatever, your boss is happy to get it. They might slap your hand or on a review if you do it on a regular basis. Then they're going to, um, maybe not give you a big raise, but they're not going to fire you, right? So that's crap that teacher. I dropped that class. I went to my boss, her boss, and I said, that's a bad policy. And that the boss said, I support my teachers even when they have this policy. And I said, all right, well, I dropped the class. I dropped the class. She asked me why I dropped the class. I told her. And she said, well, okay. And I never took that class again. So if you look at my advanced web development course, my transcript, there's a W under that class to this day because I've never retaken that class. All right. So enough about late work. You can submit late work in my class. No problem. There is a penalty if I've graded other students' work. I don't encourage it because it's really hard to get an A if you turn in all the work late, right? You can work ahead in my class, no problem. All of the work is all open except for the exams, obviously, right? All of the assignments are there. If you want to work ahead because you're going on vacation the following week, and you know you can watch my video online. You can watch you can't watch my videos ahead of time. If you're in my Cisco class, you could, but you can't watch my videos ahead. You can read the chapter and watch my video later. But I accept late work without a policy. Okay, everybody understand that? Give me a yes in the classroom if you understand my late policy. All right. Great. Expectations of student contact: be a good student. Treat your fellow students with respect. Treat me with respect, and we'll get along just fine all semester long. Recommendations for success: it says 12 hours. Now that's in a perfect world. If you've got nothing else to do, a full-time student takes 4 classes. It's 40 hours because they expect you to spend 10 hours in each class, including the 3 hours we're together and the 7 hours that you're doing homework. But in this class, we're going to be together for 2 or 3 hours, and then you're going to have 3 to 5 hours of homework, maybe less, depending on if you're really good with computers already. It might take you an hour to do some of the work in this class. Some weeks it might be an hour long, be in class for 3 hours, so you get 4 hours total. But your best bet for that is to have a set day to do your work. So for me, I do all my work on Fridays. That's the day that I do my homework because I don't want to do it on the weekends, but I don't have class on Friday. I have a class on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm always prepping for course or grading the previous day's course. But when I get to Friday, that's my day to do my homework. And I do the homework before I do anything fun Friday night. So if I'm not doing my homework, if I'm doing it Friday night, then I don't get to do anything fun. This is the calendar. The calendar is mostly accurate. What might be not accurate are these point values. I might have to change it. And for example, I don't have the attendance in the syllabus, so I'll release an updated syllabus once I add attendance in here as well. So this is the syllabus. As you can see, these are the dates. So as you can see, these are not actually worth any points. This is just me talking about the proctored exam and telling you about NetLab. But I'm actually going to push that off to another day. I'm going to give you your NetLab access at another time because you don't need NetLab until down here someplace. Here's NetLab. You don't need it until June 8th. So I got plenty of time to get all that set up, right? But you can see what's due and when it's due. I even separated out the modules. So notice module 1, this was all in one big pile. It still is that way in our classroom, but I'm actually dividing it out. So we have week 1, module 1, and then week 2, module 1 continued. And I separated it out here and I separated it out in the class. So you can see by what week we are doing which assignments, okay? Now, if I get down to one of the later labs, like let's say we're in week 7 and I find out that you need to do this lab here, well, it would have to be one that's continued. So in order to do this lab, you have to, well, I find out that part one is really belongs under storage devices, and I'll drag it up there, and I'll change that when we get to that lab later in the semester. But this is mostly correct, and it shows you with each week what's due all the way through. And note, like 8-3, we have no class that night, but you have to take the skills test 3. Same thing with week here, skills test 1. We do not meet on June 1st. I think that's actually, that might be during the week of Memorial Day. But so we don't meet that day, but that week you have to take skills test 1 sometime during the week. All right, that's everything for the syllabus. So hopefully this is helpful. If for any reason you have questions about the syllabus, please ask your questions inside of the help discussion forum. Now here, the questions might be under questions for the professor, but feel free to answer those questions as well, because this is on the course as a whole, not on any individual module. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop my recording, and I'll post that for the 2 students that didn't show up. All right, so thank you for coming to class. I appreciate it. Hopefully that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Hang on, or I'll see you then. Bye. All right. So that is kind of a feel for what it's going to be like for my presentations. And I covered a lot of the course in the syllabus. I not only went through the syllabus, but I also went through several different areas of our classroom as well. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions? You can talk or you can type. I don't care. Man, I tried buying Bitcoin at 28,000 for good or bad, and now it's up to, all right, it's only up to 28,700, but still, I think it's heading up. What's the sarcastic question? Yes, yes, especially if you share that computer build with us here in the classroom, then then I would say yes. You know, I was going to record, yeah, because I really respect all the people that put videos out on the internet, on YouTube. I really respect those people that have the courage to do that. I do it with my Cisco classes. I'm going to do it with these classes. But I was going to record every step of my building this computer that I built. It's about half built right now. I have all the parts, but they're just not all put in. But I wanted to record every single step, and so I started it. I recorded me putting wheels on the case, and I recorded putting the motherboard on the case, and I recorded adding the CPU to the case, and then I realized when I went to add the graphics cards to my case, I plan on water cooling 2 RTX 3090s. I have 6 of them, and I plan on recording all of that and putting all of that online. Then I realized it's pretty easy to figure out my address because I say who I am. I say I'm Professor Don. I talk about the college that I go to, and it's in some of my videos. And then I thought there's a lot of people out there that would like a couple RTX 3090 video cards. There's a lot of people that would like to swing by my garage and collect my mining rig with 3 RTX 3090s in it. Yeah, there's so many ways to find me. I own a house. So it would be really easy for somebody to look at my YouTube video. I talk about Jacksonville. I talk about where I live. I think the people that are able to make those videos, you really have no idea who they are. If you think about it, um, even some of the people I follow, like Network Chuck, right? He doesn't tell us his full name, and he does. I don't know if he's ever said what city he lives in, so it would be harder to find. Now, if he has a website, like I have donlafon.com, I have it's the nature of technology.com. There's nothing there. Don LaFond is for email, for my real estate. But if anybody goes to ICANN and looks up who owns donlafon.com, you have my address. It's on that website. I'm too cheap to pay the extra $4 to hide that, $4 a month to hide that. So you can find where I live. So I got cold feet and I decided not to put a recording of a $10,000 video of building this computer out on the internet for everybody out there to see. I don't have a problem with them seeing my Cisco videos, but I don't need them to see the computer that I build. In fact, I got to make sure that the only time I show this whole computer, my computer, and what I've done to it is when you guys, just to you, live in the classroom. I trust none of you are going to break into my house to get it, and not in any of my recorded videos for the same reason. I don't want them to see the finished product. Then they might just swing by and pick it up. Nobody asked any questions, so I'll assume the syllabus is pretty clear. How about the class? Any questions about the class? By the way, when I do announcements in our class, I'll do an announcement every week. And in that announcement, there'll be some sort of announcement, right? And this first week, I don't have a whole lot in my announcement, but every week I'll have something in the announcement. And then I have this word called updates, right? And then under there, I update my one announcement. Now, some teachers put a different announcement every single time that something changes in the classroom. I don't do that. I want one announcement for the week. So it'll be week 1 announcement, that's this week, week 2 announcement, week 3 announcement, right? And it'll tell you what to expect. But in fact, you'll see an announcement for your NetLab logins at some point, probably this week, maybe next week. In my other class, they actually needed I think they needed NetLab to do one of the assignments this week, so I had to give it to them. But in this class, you don't have an assignment for another like 3 weeks, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, let's see what else. So the announcement. So every time you sign into a class, let's say you sign in on Wednesday, Saturday, and next Tuesday, you should check to see if there's any updates, because something might have happened in the class. I might have moved a day, moved a time, updated something, changed something. So this is where I put the updates right here about whatever changes in the class. Not a new announcement. I just modify the one that's currently out there. Let's see. Home has all our modules. They're not all correct. Yeah, just click on click on this announcement at the top, right? And then you'll see it. It'll be down here. I just added this today saying the syllabus was available. All right. What else? I think that's it. I don't need to show you U-Certify. I'll show you U-Certify. Let's see. How do I get to U-Certify? I think I just sign into it. Yeah, log in.
Professor Don, we can't see your screen.
Okay, I'll open it up.
Thanks.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that.
You're
welcome. So I'm going to share. I'm just going to briefly show you Certify. I'm not going to get too far into it, but once you get into you Certify, this is what I'm talking about. I might have to contact you certify to get you guys transferred into my class if you buy access outside of the course room. It might be that I just have to share this information and you enroll yourself in the class. I don't know that yet. I have to find that out. Or maybe I enroll you in the class. I'll figure it out before we get to that point. But 2 is the software, 1 is the hardware. Everybody that's enrolled, whether you're in the hardware class or the software class, should get both of them. When I go to manage, you'll see hardware, and you'll see hardware configuration, and you're going to see hardware, I don't know what this one is. I don't know what that is. This is the actual class that you'll ultimately sign into. And when you get there, this is why I actually like uCertify, because uCertify gives you a pre-assessment at the beginning, and I think I'm gonna require that for an assignment next week. I haven't done it yet because I haven't given you access, but the pre-assignment will give you an idea because it's on the entire course, and it's going to give you an idea on what your knowledge level is. So no matter what grade you get on it, I'm going to give you 100%. So some of you are going to get a 50 because you haven't learned anything yet. You've never built a computer before. You don't know anything about some of the stuff we're going to talk about, and you're going to fail this course. It's okay. You'll still get 100%. But some of you are going to do well on it. You should feel good about that. Now, at the end of the course is a post-assessment. The post-assessment is the same task done again at the other end of the course, and that will give you a feel on what you've learned. Hopefully your grades have gone up. Now, if they've gone down, well, I don't know what to tell you about that. Hopefully your grade doesn't go down from the first time you take it to the second time you take it, but that's the purpose of the post and pre. Now, these are the lessons. This is the actual iBook, right? I mean, ebook. So you can just leaf through this book page by page, just as if you had a paper book. That's why I like ebooks, right? And there should be some way to search this book. I don't know. I haven't been in here yet, but usually there's a way to search it. If any of you know, let me know, but it should be a way to search it. Nope, there's a way to search it. Over here, maybe at the top. Yep, there we go. So let's say you're searching for M.2, right? I'm going to hit enter, and it did. And here it is, right here, talking about M.2, and you can click on it, and you can jump right to that test. Now, I do not consider this cheating. This is how I pass all my courses when I take courses. This is not cheating. This is looking up answers. Looking up answers is perfectly fine, because getting here, you then have to read the content. If you didn't read it the first time you were through, or it just went in one ear, go out the other, you're thinking about the beach or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever, and you didn't pick it up the first time, here's how you get the answer, right? I don't want you going to Quizlet. I want you coming here to get the answer, all right? So this is why I like the ebook. Now again, leaf through the ebook if you buy the ebook. Oh, why can't you see my screen? I shared the screen. Oh, I'm sorry. You could have said it again. Okay, so when you sign in to uCertify, you're going to see 2 books. There's 1, this is your book, and 2, this is the software book. Hey, they finally straightened themselves out. 2 was before 1 before. Oh, it was the last one I went into. That's how they do that. Anyways, so 1 is a hardware book. When you go into it, you're gonna go into this. I'm not sure what this is right here. I'm gonna have to go look at it. But this is, oh, these are the assessments. You are going to have to go in here to take no, I don't know what that is. Oh, let me see. Practical tests. These are I don't know. I have to figure this out. This doesn't look like what I expect it to look like. Hang on a second. Let me go into this one. Wow. This is instructor view. I don't know how to change it. A minute ago, it didn't have this. There's a key. You're going to need a key. Hey, I can give that to you. I'll put that in the classroom for students that aren't here. Track. Did anybody just buy the eCert? Did anybody just buy the sort of? I can't see chat. Hey, all right. You can. You're funny. Katrina. I'm going to copy the section key, and if you need that, I'm going to put that in here now. Let's see if you guys can get there. Why didn't it work? All right. This is the section key that you guys need for, let me make sure I'm in the hardware class. I think that, oh, wait, don't put that in, because I think I know the difference between these two. This is the default, this is this classes. All right, so you really need this key. This is the one that's all set up for you. Yeah, okay, this is it. And where's the key? This is the key you need. The second one. That's the key you need. All right. We're in the right place. Okay? Somebody try to register for course with that bought it. Whoever, where are you? Ermina. See if you can use that key to register for the class. Oh, you got the bundle. But didn't you buy the bundle through? You said you took on the website, you paid $125 for it.
Yes, I got it, but the actual bundle, I'm still waiting for it to be delivered. Not the E1.
Oh, you bought the paper bundle from them for $125. Boy, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Okay,
they
that's fine.
didn't offer any other one, so.
Oh, that's irritating, because now you don't have it for the first. That's okay. We don't do much this first week, anyways. And it's worth saving the money. All right, so so I'll make sure I put that in the classroom. So pre-assessment, this is the beginning of the course. You're going to take this. And you're going to fail it. If you pass that, then you already know a lot. Now, if you already know a lot about this course, I want to tell you that you're in danger of failing this course. All right. Now, right now, you're thinking, yeah, right, Don, I know all this stuff, right? No, but it's the students that know a lot that don't do the work, because they're like, I'll do it later. I know this stuff, right? Then they don't do it, and then they find out they're 4 weeks behind, and then they fail the course. It happens all the time. So if you know a lot about hardware, you're in danger of failing this course. I'll tell you right now. The students that don't know anything about this, they know they have to read it and study it and get in and actually do the work and be on time and all that stuff, because they're afraid of failing it. Those are the ones that are going to get an A in the class, right? I'm not saying if you know a lot, you're going to fail it. I'm saying if you know a lot, you're in danger of failing it, because I've had a lot of students that start off brilliant. They know everything. They're telling me stuff I don't know. Then they drop off the face of the earth, and I don't see them again, because they don't bother taking the time to do the work. This is the lessons. These are the chapters of the ebook. This is how you leaf through your ebook, right? This is how you're going to learn the material, right? Now, even if you know a lot, you should still go through the ebook. How long is it going to take? Now, all right, so each one of these chapters is about 40 pages long. 40 pages, if it takes you, let's say 5 minutes a page, that's 200 minutes. That's a couple, 3 hours to actually read every word. But if you just leaf through it, you're like, yeah, I know what a printer is. I know what I know, oh, what's a KVM? I don't know what that is. You read what you don't know about, right? NFC, I know about that. Smart chip, yeah, I got that. Oh, those are cute pictures. And then they have some looks like you have some oh, you can see it, you can do this stuff if you want. It doesn't actually give you points, but it will help you to know if you're learning the material. Doesn't give you any points though. But what I was saying about a quiz, I was saying that back in this book, you can open the menu, and at the very top of the menu, let's say you have a test question about M.2 drives, right? Just type M.2 and then click on M.2, and it jumps you to this section. It jumps you to the section on M.2, and then read about it. Maybe the question is, which of the following is an M.2 drive, and they put NVMe, and they put SSD, and they put PCI, and they put, I don't know, NAND, and you're like, I don't know which one's which. Just go look it up. I don't consider this cheating at all. This is using the resources that are made available to you by the publisher, the college, me. You paid for this. This is your resource. This is not cheating. It's an open book test. Look up the answers you don't know. No problem. I actually feel like when you look up a question, you're actually learning it when you're looking it up. You're reading through the material that you made maybe earlier. You leafed through it too fast, right? Anyways, that's not cheating. But if you just go to Quizlet, like I showed you earlier, and you type which of the following is an M.2 drive and non-volatile memory express drive, and you get the answer from them, that's not helping you. Okay, don't do that. I'm showing you how to find the answers fast. Okay, most teachers don't do that. But if you've never done that before in an ebook, that's how I get A's in all my classes. I just look up the book, look up the answers inside of the book that I buy when I buy the class, right? All right, unless a teacher tells me it's closed book, which is silly for an online teacher to say the book is closed book. Now, I'm going to tell you, any questions about let me go back. Let me close the ebook. And then this is where you're going to find, the assessments. The practical tests are right here. I still don't know what this is. I have some work to do. This says there's A/B custom test, but there's actually like 7 of these things. So I don't know what that is. Design resources. I still need, it looks like I have to get those labs in here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But that is uCertify. Any questions about uCertify now that I've closed it? I'll talk about NetLab when we need it. I'm not gonna take time tonight for that. I still have a PowerPoint presentation to give you guys. Now this PowerPoint's not going to take you too long, so please hang in there. If you do have to go during the PowerPoint presentation, it's not a problem. You just have to do the attendance in that other way. You have to watch my recorded videos, okay? And I know you guys are in my software class. I know you're still waiting for that video, waiting for me to make that video. It's because I haven't made the video yet. So I still want to know why my head's red. I'm not really red like that. Do I look red on the camera to you guys? A little bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right. All right. So I am going to do the PowerPoint presentation. Now one of the things I'm doing is I'm adding the PowerPoint presentation to the modules. I've only added the first 2. for this week and next. I have to add it for the rest of the class. I just haven't gotten a chance to do it. If you feel like you should have the PowerPoint open while I'm going through the PowerPoint, then absolutely no problem. You can do that. I give you the PowerPoint, or you can just watch the PowerPoint that I'm going through. It doesn't matter to me which way you do it, but that is up to you. All right. Okay. So the last part of this class, I am going to teach the first PowerPoint. Let me go through it. I haven't actually seen it yet. Let me take a look at it. I know all this stuff. It's not something I don't know. So don't you'll see. Don't worry. You're like, he hasn't even looked at the PowerPoint yet. Come on, it's the Intro to IT PowerPoint. It's not something that I don't know. Let me close out of that. All right, let's see. Roles of IT role. Ah, all right. We won't even be together half an hour. All right, half an hour. It's going to take me about half hour to go through this presentation. By the way, I have taught this course before, both at St. John's River and FSCJ. So I've taught it multiple times, multiple colleges. I just haven't taught it in 3 years. So I do have to get back up to speed on changes that have been made in the last 3 years. But there's nothing different in this presentation. So let me, so here we go. Now, during my presentation, please hold your questions unless there's something I ask you. If you don't see the presentation, whoever pointed that out, I really appreciate that earlier. If I tell you, okay, I'm recording a presentation and you don't see my PowerPoint, or I'm showing you a video, you don't see the video, you can type it, but normally I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to the chat room. Just yell out, we can't see it. Okay, and that'll make me go backwards and open it up so you can't see it. And the sooner you do that, the better, because if you wait until I'm like 5 minutes into it, guess what? You get to hear me do the whole thing all over again for 5 more minutes, right? So, so please just yell out, we can't see your screen, and that will help me out tremendously. You can, if you have questions, or if I ask you a question, by all means, just type it in the chat room. And I try to read the chat room every now and then, looking over. And when I ask a question, if I get stuck on something, like M2 drives, for example, if I forgot, oh, there's lots of hard drives, including SSDs, and the new style. What's the new style? It doesn't mean I don't know what an M2 drive is. It's just my brain doesn't have it on the tip of my tongue, and so somebody just type M2, and then I'm off and running again. Okay, I really appreciate that. All right, let's go. Here we go. Any questions before I get started? All right, half hour, I think, maybe a few minutes longer. Here we go. Oh,